4, 3, 2, 1.
Leave the world behind for the next half hour as the third edition of Life on the Beach puts a little sand between you and your toes.
Take a dip with our Life on the Beach fish cam as we catch more than just this barracuda in the sky blue waters off Lizard Island.
Enjoy the view as we pay tribute to the coastline's ever-watchful beacon, the lighthouse.
Join us for afternoon tea on the beautiful beaches of Broome, where you can have your cuppa with one hump or two.
Learn how tough it is being up the Amazon even with a paddle.
Find out why this woman is standing in the middle of a sunflower patch.
And pick up a few pointers on flying from the little guys who do it best.
So be on the lookout for all this, a few surprises, and another one of our great value offers.
And don't be afraid to get your feet wet as we take off on this very special edition of Life on the Beach.
Surf happens, so why not make the most of it? But have you ever wondered how it first happened? Before there were boards, there was body surfing, a sport that arrived on Sydney's beaches in the 1890s when a villager from the island of Tana, in what is now Vanuatu, startled locals by floating in on the crashing surf. But the biggest day in Australian surfing came on the 15th of January 1915, when the Hawaiian Duke Kanemoku first paddled out into the surf at Sydney's freshwater beach. The Duke had won a gold medal for swimming in the 1912 Olympics in Stockholm. He'd come to Australia to demonstrate his winning form, but it was the longboard he'd brought with him that captured the imagination of a nation. Then as now, Hawaii was the world's mecca for surfing's true believers. Let's head for those warmer waters to have a look at the surf that spawned our love affair with the wave. Aside from offering the world's biggest waves, the charm of Hawaii lies in the surfing history that still lives and breathes there. From traditional canoes, to longboards, to Malibus, to whatever's hot this season, you'll find it all on Hawaii's awesome beaches. If you're serious about proving your worth on a board, Hawaii is and always has been the place to make your mark. It was in Hawaii in 1962 that Midget Farrelly put Australia on the surfing map when he captured our first major international title. With the advent of pro surfing in the early 1970s, Hawaii was again the place to be. 1976 saw Australians Mark Richards, Ian Cairns and Rabbit Bartholomew take the surfing world by storm. The trio battled Hawaii's 7.5 metre waves that year to sweep first, second and third place in the World Championships. But even with all their money, sponsorship, status and perks, Hawaii's local surfers haven't forgotten the fundamentals. First and foremost, they know this sport is about having fun. Camels were first imported to Australia in the 1860s for outback transport. Out in Broome, they're still on the job, but the hours and conditions have improved considerably. Let's tag along for a ride.
so therapeutic. Makes you want to go to sleep. Yeah, it was great.
The camel is a most appropriate symbol for Broome, a quiet oasis where the Great Sandy Desert meets the Indian Ocean. But the jewel in the crown is certainly the Cable Beach Resort. Built only recently by Lord McAlpine, the resort goes to great lengths to reflect Broome's unique multicultural history. Design elements and furnishings are drawn from Thailand, Indonesia, China, Japan and Malaysia. Australia isn't forgotten either. Lord McAlpine's sizable collection of Sidney Nolan paintings adorn one guest residence. Here, a 3-bedroom suite is graced with the work of Elizabeth Durick. And in the living room, you'll find Lord McAlpine's own collection of butterflies. But with 2 pools, 3 restaurants, endless tennis courts and 20 kilometres of beach at the end of the lawn, the resort has a lot more to offer than just elegant things to look at.
A night out in Broome, more often than not, starts at Sun Pictures, the world's oldest outdoor picture theatre. Meet Tony Hutchinson, co-owner of the theatre. But first things first. Tony, have you ever met Lord McAlpine?
Yeah, well, it was a funny story. When McAlpine first came to Broome, they were supposed to go to Kalgoorlie, but that was fogged in, so his lawyer, John Adams, said, oh, we'll go up to Broome and see Hutchie. That's my old man. So they flew into Broome, winged in here, and I was driving McAlpine around this beaten-up old Falcon. And it was just Mr. McAlpine in those days, a pearl investor from England. That's how we all knew. And I think he picked up about 4 properties that day.
Uh-huh. All right, well, back to the theatre. Give us some history.
The theatre itself, well, it was built in 1916 by one of the pearling masters of the day. It's pretty well original. The odd bit of floorboard where someone disappears through, we just patch it back up again. After we pull the body out, yeah. We're very sensitive about what we do to the old building here, because you know, even though the floorboard's very aged, the place gets its character from the sort of grain look of everything. And we've had photographers in here from Vogue magazine and Harper's Bazaar, and they always say, you know, don't ever change it at all, you know. They like the look of everything. It comes together to create the whole atmosphere, really.
So you must have a few good stories about showing movies here, yeah?
We put the odd one on upside down by accident. No, that's only ever happened once. I think we had the Unbearable Lightness of Being on. Somehow one of the spools got joined up upside down. So one minute there was this sort of steamy love scene, and the next minute they're doing it on the ceiling. See? Didn't know who was on top of who or what was supposed to be going on. And the audience, they took about 10 minutes to work it out.
And what about the future of Sun Pictures?
Well, we're just going to sit on the place. We see ourselves more as custodians rather than owners, because I think a theatre like this, it's got its place in the hearts of the people of the town, and it's an important part of the community as far as history and where people were brought up. So yeah, we don't wish to change the place too much. We'll just gradually do bits and pieces here and there to restore it, and hope to be here for its 100th anniversary in about 24 years' time.
But for all there is to do and see in town, ask anyone what's the best thing about Broome, and you'll only hear one answer.
The beach.
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 For sure.
The beach. Yeah.
Finding the beach is as simple as following the trickle of water as it heads to sea. But when you begin your journey at the headwaters of the Amazon, get set for a long holiday. These 5 Australians set out to paddle the great waterways of South America, beginning with one of the greatest of all, Iguazu Falls. With collapsible fold kayaks, their first goal is to paddle up to the face of Iguazu. Despite the capsizing of one boat, another team continues on undeterred. Battling against a ripping current, they reach as far as their strength and sanity will allow before giving in to the force of the falls. The team decides next to move overland through Bolivia to Lake Titicaca, the world's highest navigable lake. Their goal, to find the renowned floating villages of the Uros Indians. Paddling across the border into Peru, they receive a warm welcome from this isolated tribe. These villagers still live on their ancestral floating islands built of datura reeds woven together. Constructed as a means of evading ancient enemies, the islands remain sturdy as well as diverse in hosting an ecosystem all their own. On the trail back to the sea, it's hard not to take in an Inca ruin or two. Most remarkable are the remnants of the famed Machu Picchu, the lost city of the Incas. Heading further across the continent, the team reaches the Atlantic and the Valdez Peninsula. Spotting a whale, one team member attempts to pay a visit, but heavy weather forces him back. Maybe a few lessons from the locals would have helped. Next stop, Patagonia and the 3,500 metre Fitzroy Massif. The respite of the scenery and calm waters is a welcome one before heading into the treacherous seas of Tierra del Fuego. Leaving their fold kayaks behind, they switch to sturdier craft. 2 are French-built kayaks and the 3rd is Australian-made. The greatest danger in these conditions rests in the cold. Water temperatures actually drop below 0. Only the salt content keeps it from turning to ice. After a quick pit stop at the village of Harberton, one of the southernmost settlements in the world, the team turns north again up the coast to the highlight of the trip, the Merino Glacier. The day turns out to be nothing short of glorious, with the warm sun, crisp air and remarkable sights making it the perfect way to end one unforgettable trip.
Summer cooks, but why should you? So life on the beach is on the move with tops and shorts that'll keep you breezing through the big one. Put them on your back. In blue or white, the top one size fits all, shorts medium or large. For women or men, they're totally cotton, totally affordable and totally cool. Put them on your bits and you're made in the shade. Her bits, his bits, bits of bits. Add to that, change back on $10 and from this angle, summer's starting to look pretty good already.
The will to fly with the wind is as old as any of our longings to be free. Modern commercial jetliners have made flight seem almost routine, but we still have plenty to learn from those creatures who put the idea in our heads to begin with. Watching from the ground is one thing, but by tagging along for the ride, we can see firsthand the miracle of design that keeps our feathered friends aloft. For grey-necked geese, the annual migration from Iceland to Scotland requires strength and stamina. Flying in formation, the uplift of air from the leading bird helps those following behind. Maintaining a speed of 60 kilometres per hour requires extreme exertion, which generates heat. To keep cool, geese fly at exceptionally high altitudes, which also offers lower air resistance and faster winds. For some geese, optimal altitude is as high as 35,000 feet. Bringing these big birds down isn't unlike landing a sizable jetliner. Wings tilt back, creating lift. A few flaps slow descent. Outstretched feet increase wind resistance, and the bird lands just before stalling. Take takeoff requirements are a function of size. Heavy birds such as swans need a long takeoff, so they can only become airborne from large bodies of water. Facing into the wind, the swan increases speed by pedalling through the water until sufficient lift is attained. Smaller birds such as the teal are prone to attack by predators, so an immediate takeoff is vital. Once airborne, the teal can reach speeds of nearly 70 kilometres per hour. These high speeds are partly a necessity because the bird's small wings provide insufficient lift at slower speeds. For predators, the key is manoeuvrability. The large, strong wings of the peregrine falcon allow it to alternate between fast flapping flight and soaring. The long tail acts as a rudder to give fine control. The falcon reaches maximum speed by gaining height, then sweeping back its wings and dropping out of the sky at speeds of nearly 140 kilometres per hour. The buzzard is built more like a cargo plane. Slow but powerful, it can lift objects of considerable size, including this video camera. The buzzard takes particular advantage of ever-changing air currents. Flying into the wind, it searches for areas of rising air. Finding an updraft, its flight is now effortless. Every bird is a compromise between design and behaviour, and like the aeroplane, each is particularly suited to the life they lead in flight.
For deep-sea anglers, chasing the black marlin presents one of the sport's ultimate challenges.
For the traveller who's done it all, Lizard Island offers a welcome respite from the disappointments of seeing the world in tourist class.
That's why bringing the two together for the Black Marlin Classic was destined to create one of sport fishing's premier events.
The first European to step foot on Lizard Island was Captain James Cook. He'd come ashore with his crew to climb the island's highest point in hopes of spotting a passage out of the shallow waters of the Great Barrier Reef. These days, Lizard Island still offers escape, but it's an escape of a different sort. First off, let's go fishing.
We all know what marlin fishing looks like from above the water, the boats, the tackle, and finally, the strike. But have you ever wondered what goes on below the waterline? To find out, we devised our one and only fish cam, tossed it overboard, and it didn't take long before we had our first visitor. Watch the bait in the top left of the picture for a live-action barracuda strike. And not just one, but two.
But we didn't spend all our time exploring the sea in front of the telly. After all, who could resist some of the best diving in the world? This is the Cod Hole, some 20 kilometres off the coast of Lizard Island. It's the home of several giant cod who come every day to be hand-fed by divers. The moray eels don't mind getting into the act either, although threatening in appearance, they seem quite comfortable with our presence.
Back beyond the reef, there was as much action above board as there was below. Black marlin fishing isn't without its share of controversy. Many see the sport as a cruel one, but the aim of this tournament was to tag the fish, not to catch them. With our fish cam back in place, we wouldn't have to wait long for the big one to show interest.
There, marlin! Marlin! Go for the camera! Come on, come on. He's on the tail. Gonna have it? Got it. Coming in now, you want it. Come in. Gonna have it. Like the swing,
yeah? This is a sizable fish, and as marlin are known to do when they're aroused, it's changed colour from black to bright blue. They call it being lit up.
Lit up! He's all lit up with stripes. Stay there, stay there. Nearly ready to go fishing. Oh, he really touched it. Look at the colour of it. Wow. Oh, wow. This is good. Look at this. Yes! Yeah! All right, he's on. We're tight. We're right
others, this marlin was tagged and released. But with the videotape to prove it, this is one fishtail that'll have to be believed. Look at life on the beach would hardly seem complete without paying tribute to the coastline's ever-watchful beacon, the lighthouse. Australia, after all, is an island nation with nearly 37,000 kilometres of shoreline. To protect shipping from the hazards of this vast and rugged coast, some 400 lighthouses now stand guard. Australia's first lighthouse was built in 1791 on Sydney's South Head. As with most early lighthouses, it was wood-fuelled and manned by convict labour. Today, automation has made the lighthouse keeper very nearly a thing of the past. Technological advances in wind and solar power have created a whole new generation of beacons barely recognisable as lighthouses. But the beauty of these trusted old friends, etched in glass, stone and metal, will always remain with us. So sit back, enjoy, and thanks for watching.
Thanks again for watching, and keep a lookout for the next edition of Life on the Beach.